Ah, yes, the cold light of day. What have I done now? I think we may have surpassed the ambitiousness of the R6 with the Honda CB750. Yes, quite a state. I often wonder about the quality of my workmanship until I see something like this. There's me worrying about where to mount things. Yes, just slap them on the side with a bit of checker plate, why not? And of course, this is another one with no key. And there's the key, the switch, yes. But the problem is, how do you get into the fuel tank? Well, it's not a problem because I'm not going to use that fuel tank. It's not very pretty to start with, and I mean, you know, even when it's in good condition, and this one's obviously in horrible condition. And they fetch a pretty penny on eBay, actually, being an original tank. So, oh look, we have lights. Yes, we have lights. Yes, nice wire coming out there and strapped on with a tie wrap. Why not? Yeah. What else have we got? Well, quality paint job on the wheels, obviously, lovely. And yes, I don't know where to begin or end. Just horrible, actually. Air filters are disgusting. Everything's disgusting. Horrible exhaust pipes. Horrible seat, generally, actually. Just nasty piece of shit. At least those look as though they might come off with not too much trouble. Famous last words. But yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Actually, now I have it in here with the rest. It's a surprisingly big bike, actually. Yeah. Kind of strange. I mean, yeah, the upside of all this is that what we have here is a classic 4-stroke, 4-cylinder Honda CB750 from the 70s. Doesn't get much more classic as far as Café races go. So, I think that's the upside. Can't think of anything else. Oh, did I mention he couldn't start it when I went to see it? Yes, so another ran when parked. Oh dear. And as if that isn't enough, I'm off to get another one today. Oh, I must be mad. It's all in the detail. What a lovely little touch. Mind you, these are quite nice. One saving grace. Oh, and this doesn't work either, obviously. Interesting place for a fuse box, Mr. Honda. Yes, new battery, my arse. Ludicrously big front wheel. Ridiculous. It's like 27 inches as opposed to like 23. We'll have to do some research on possible swaps for the front wheel. So actually, honestly, if anyone has any idea of wheels that will fit, please drop it in the comments, because I am going to be kind of paralleling this with episodes which have been kind of pre-recorded on the Yamaha, and so I will be reading comments and taking note and taking action accordingly. I'm glad I didn't pay very much for it, because I can see already that I'm going to have to be spending quite a lot of money to bring this up to scratch. But again, on the bright side, there's that beautiful lump. So yes, we have a Honda ha. Well, I think this is my favourite bodge so far, and rather than use the screw thread to adjust the brake light switch, let's just bend the bracket. Yes, that's a good idea. Talking of brakes, not quite sure how that gets so gnarled up. Whether this bike has been upside down or not, I don't know. And then we have the choke cable. Yes, let's not run that through that hole that's specifically there for that. No, let's just leave it dangling around on the outside. That's a great idea. I hope you're going to enjoy the next 6 months as much as I am. There's the answer to how to get to the fuel tank. Yes, a key. Rather large key, but there we go. Quality snap-on key. And so it begins. Couldn't get rid of those fast enough. Yeah. I think job number one is the usual tear down and throwing away all the shit we don't need, which will sadly include the original Speedo, because it doesn't work and it's in a bit shit condition. So I think we're just going to have to trash that, which is a shame. However, the fuel tank, despite the one minor dent, I will be saving and putting on eBay, because I think I said already they fetch a pretty penny. The seat is going in the trash. That is horrible. While we're on the subject of eBay and horrible seats, I'm thinking something potentially like this, which is the seat from the Augusta, which never got sold on eBay because some guy made me a very rude offer and I told him where he could put it. And I'm thinking something like that. I mean, the problem is with this, obviously, unless we go completely like major and put a single rear shock in there, and I don't even know how to begin to do that, but yeah, maybe. Otherwise, we've got to at least keep the frame up to that point. And as we can see from the other side, the cross member that gives it some kind of strength is actually behind that as well. So whilst I want to chop it as close as I can to the suspension, I'll need to put in some kind of extra strap across there to hold it all in place, retain the strength of the frame. Yes, because these lazy bastards didn't. They just left it all there. Well, we've got the rear pegs off, and obviously we're going to be cutting that completely out of the equation, I think. Yes, totally unnecessary. And it's looking a lot tidier up the front end. Also, Speedo and other accoutrements, horn have gone. Cables look good, actually. I was just checking these throttle cables. They're good, they're new, as is the clutch cable, so that's encouraging. This is the horn button. That will be going hot, apparently. I shall use gloves, and I shall be marking it up with the same red tape. I used green for the Speedo lights and stuff, because it's a good old-fashioned Speedo cable. Yes, but yeah, so because, you know, it doesn't matter what I use it for. There's no ECU, there's no light on anything, so it's basically a positive and a negative, and that's what we like. We're in the world of the 1970s and simplicity, relatively. It wasn't very simple, it was a pretty dull time in the UK. Thank God for punk rock, eh? That brightened it up a little bit. Anyway, just in case I've run out of different colours of tape, I've labelled it H for horn. Now to remove the offending article. And it really is pretty offensive. They must have gone online and searched for most horrible switch available. Yes. What the hell? I mean, look at it. Well, much as I dislike it, I'm going to keep it just in case. Nicely bent at the top there. Yeah, just in case, because it is metal, and you never know when some of it may become useful, not least of all that kind of upright bit. So, yeah, I'm going to hang on to that. Meantime, I've been doing some research on swapping front ends, which is quite interesting. And it seems that the Suzuki GSXR 750 is a pretty simple swap for the CB750, and it obviously requires a special part, some bearings to adjust to the different fork and yokes, and yeah, it's not cheap, but like I said, I think I'm going to have to spend some serious money on this particular project, so I think I'd like to do it properly, and I'm going to look into that. Then of course, on top of the forks, you've got to buy the wheel and the discs and the brake calipers and everything else. So the whole conversion, you know, you're lucky if you get away with under $500, but I think it'll be worth it, and I'm not going to rush into it because, as I said, the Suzuki is going to take priority. On the flip side, different shock absorbers, and there's nothing wrong with these actually, but different shocks are quite readily available and quite cheap, really, 60, 70, up to, I don't know, $100 for a pair with adjustable stuff. So definitely going to be getting some of those for both this and probably the Suzuki. Yes. Oh. Enough waffling, get on with it. I'm concerned with this project that I'm going to need to find a kind of permanent residence for it at some point, because it will be immobilized from whatever I'm doing whilst I'm doing other projects. So yeah, that's a little bit of a concern, and still don't know what to do with this baby. I think I'm going to have to drop the price. Nice. I don't know how they did that Jubilee clip up, that one there, yes, buried in there. Wow. That'll do, I got access to it, yes. Not the most conventional way to do it, but well, it works. Nasty wrap removed and numbered, so I know which is which, because I'm probably going to be taking these off. Well, we're all unwrapped, and it's amazing what you can cover up with a bit of wrapping, because that's a gaping hole somewhere there. There, yeah. Yeah, let's not fix that. Let's just cover it up with some wrap. Yeah. Which is even more extraordinary, seeing as they welded these end bits on. I mean, why you had the welder out? Why didn't you welderize the hole? I mean, come on. So yeah, these pipes are a sorry state. Obviously we're going to cut off their nasty bit and add something on at some point, even if we don't replace the whole damn thing with a totally custom exhaust. I would love to know if the CB400 exhaust would fit, because of course that's a lot more attractive than these straight down pipes. It's all curly whirly. Yes, one of the sexiest exhaust pipes ever on a motorcycle, I think. Certainly production-wise. So, somewhat ironically, despite the simplicity of the wiring, there seems to be more than is necessary, because this went to the back light, and this goes to the license plate, which seems to be much the same, and there's all this, and so I'm sure we can simplify it even more, which is good news. But that'll be a much later episode. Pipes are all now stripped of their cladding. Front end is pretty much stripped down. Rear end is under consideration. Obviously that needs to come off. And overall, I think we've barely scratched the surface. So, chop wise, I'm thinking here, obviously. And I'm thinking there, and I'm thinking the seat will be the same seat unit, but just changed like this. Despite that, I'm going to call it a day, and thanks for watching as usual. If you haven't subscribed already, why not, and please do so right now, and encourage others to watch my lunacy.